Now, starting the test drive in this XT5 here, I actually really like the 2-liter turbo engine. Now, at least it doesn't feel as quick as the V6. I mean, this feels quicker to me, but the V6, of course, has more power. But I just like how this, specifically, is just the turbo boost. That's the best thing about this, I think. Now, I've always thought that these rode pretty nicely. They're just very smooth in terms of the ride quality, and then just having this transmission that shifts relatively well. And I feel like you get the best of both worlds in terms of something that's sporty and luxurious if you want it. Now, I didn't put my foot into it because this doesn't have much gas in it, but just under light throttle, I gave it about 1/3, and the turbo, the torque that I had low end was fantastic. So very impressive there. And again, I have to touch on the ride quality. The XT5 rides very solid. It's a very solid riding car. So it's smooth. It's not necessarily putting you to sleep, but it's just so crisp. Just, I feel like the driver's perspective is very nice, but I mean, the ride is just good. Very, very good. I'd put it like a 9.5 over a 10, just because it's not an S-Class, because it's not a smooth as butter ride, but it is a smooth ride, and it's good for the driver because it's not necessarily going to put you to sleep, but it's non-intrusive. It's probably the best way to describe it. Now, for the price point of this, I do think it's not necessarily steep, but it's considered a luxury vehicle. I think the best thing about this is the ride. I think the ride on these are phenomenal. But at almost 50 grand, there are other options out there. But with it being a $50,000 vehicle, I think you do get a good amount for what you're paying for. I think the big thing though is just like for 60 grand, you can get a lot more. So you can get your cooled seats, sunroof maybe adaptive cruise control, depending on what manufacturer you decide to go with and what else you're giving up. But I will say, ride quality wise, this is top tier. And it's just a simple luxury SUV too, so it's not really hard to maneuver. It feels fancy without feeling fancy, if that makes sense. So I don't feel like I'm getting behind the wheel and I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I work this? How do I work that? Everything's pretty self-explanatory if you've been in a vehicle that's a 2000 or newer. Now, if you haven't, and you're coming from your 97 DeVille or whatever, you'll still probably be all right. But if you're coming from a 97 Corolla, there'll be a learning curve there. But a very good car overall in terms of fuel economy, in terms of the power you get, just how easy it is to drive. I'll say ride quality a million times. Again, ride quality is just fantastic. But it's also something that feels nice, looks nice, while also being under the radar. And I think that's what a lot of people are looking for in this segment. So, with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Cadillac XT5 Luxury.